The story I was told is when b-boying was being created, they were kids, and they found something that took them out of their struggle as a boy, and they found a spirit that was a boy. As they grew up, and they were men, and they were dancing, they were still able to express their emotions and capture the moment of them being boys. So when we dance, we still find the boy in us, or the girl, as a child. We're still able to connect to that spirit of falling in love with something and bringing the youth out of us. Probably why we stay looking young, because it's medicine. There's a reason why we're touching the floor, because the dance that we're doing has already been done. Our tribes and our people were already touching the floor and already connected to the earth. So the things that we're doing is we're naturally attracted to the earth, because we're healing not only ourselves but the earth. And to me, that's the reason why, like, I believe in the 80s why b-boying stopped. Because, and this is my personal idea of what it is, because, like, I think at one time there was a lot of, like, at one time they got rid of all our dances. They took them from us here, you know, and because we were dancing for medicine and for a purpose, and they got rid of it. And when it came back in the like 70s and 80s, there was a ridiculous amount of people doing it. It was on every corner. Like I remember in my hometown, I could drive around and there was b-boys dancing everywhere. And I think there was too much medicine at one time. There was too much people feeling good. So they had to dead it, because they had already deaded it. You know what I'm saying? But now it's globally. So we all have to understand that we have a purpose. We're not just doing it to be the best or to compete, or it's actually for natural medicine. We actually, when we do it, we feel good and we escape from our problems. You could be at your worst moment and go out and dance and still feel alright, you know? So it's something that you've been given that is more than b-boying. It's already been done. It's just our version of our culture that was naturally coming back to us. Our spirit is always going to be in search of what we need. The worldly ways aren't going to cure what our desires that our spirit wants. We need to be able to, our spirit is looking for something that's more. So we have the opportunity to come together as a people and naturally heal ourselves, and we can, that's why when it gets into the moment when everybody's just like naturally hype and it's just like all like that, and we just feel good, like that's what it is, you know, like when everything's all at one. There comes a time sometimes where, like, I'm in the club and the music is loud and I'm having to yell at my friends like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But when I hit the circle, I can hear people talking, and I can hear them saying, like, oh, that cat, whatever, you know, or that was fresh, or that was whack. But I could hear them, and I can actually be dancing and look for them. And then I get up, and I'm like, what? And I can point at them, you know what I'm saying? But that's because we're doing something spiritual. We're doing something that's natural. And like, I was in northern New Mexico one time, and we did this show, and we happened to do this show with a biologist. He was a scientist, and he was into all, and not only that, he studied the Aztec calendar, and he was this far off dude. He was real heavy, you know, he was really deep. And we started doing our dances, and we started talking about what they were called: 6-step, 4-step, 5-step, and different patterns. And when we did our 6-step, he bugged out, because he was like, do you guys know that you guys are repeating the DNA pattern? Because it moves in 6 steps. He's like, it moves in 6 steps, and it moves in a rotation. So when you do that, you wake up your bloodstream. And as you wake up your bloodstream, you wake up, and you're touching the earth. You're a vibration, and we're all a vibration. So the vibration that you're creating, if you have great intentions and good intentions while you're dancing, you're providing that to the earth. he's like, just think about what you're doing, because when our people were dancing tribally before us, the steps that they were doing were geometry patterns, because they figured out how to get in touch. But we're doing the same thing, we just aren't talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Because we're so caught up in hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? We're like, it's street, whatever the case is. But if you really get in touch with yourself, you start thinking about when you're in the circle, your spirit is the one that is expressing himself or herself. It's not you as the person that you've created. It's not your ego. Sometimes the ego will take over. But if you can jump in the cipher and think, I'm gonna feed everybody. Like, yeah, there was times yesterday where I was dancing, doing this, doing this. You know, because I was trying to tell a story. I didn't want to take it all the way there, but because I'm not doing it for nobody else but myself. I feel I can naturally give that to people without me having to tell them. You know what I'm saying? There's b-boys out there right now that will tell a whole story. They'll like, look at the sun, grab the sun, they'll bring the rain down. They'll be rocking, they're digging a hole, reach in their pocket, throw the seeds, cover it up. You know what I'm saying? Rock it out, back to the sun, grab the people. You know what I'm saying? And feed it back to them.
That's sick.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the same thing, the reason why we bring out the weapons. Because we're fighting a war. At one time, people were dancing for a piece of land. There were wars, before wars where they were killing each other, they were dancing for land. They would come to fight. Who's going to have this land to have the crops this season? And they would battle, they would dance. So it's the same thing when we come together, when we come to different places. You know, I come out here, it's when we battle or when we fight, it's for a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like we have, sometimes it could get deep where you take that person's spirit. So we're like, reason why I told a few people, I was like, you know, when you're in the competition, really you're just putting yourself out there to be judged. It's not a battle. So don't think about it as like, I'm judging you as a person. You threw yourself out there to be judged at this moment. You know what I'm saying? If you want to battle, call somebody out and battle for your pride. Let's see who walks home with the spirit. Who's the greater warrior in the house? You know what I mean? And that's where the battle really is. Not in the competition. The competition is to bring the people so more people are doing it. But to me, I believe there's going to come a time when we're all going to need this. That's why yesterday when I spit my poem, it was like, I hope one time you guys are going to need to sing this. You know, so you're going to need the unity and the love, the fun. Not just know that that's what hip-hop is, but actually we need that. What happened, you know, people are talking about 2012 and all this stuff. What happens if the earth shakes and we don't have electricity and stuff? We're still going to need to express even more. Even more at that time we'll have to express, because we'll deeply need to release the pain that we feel. Right now, we just do it because it's something that we fell in love with, but it serves a purpose, literally. And that's how I feel about hip-hop. That's why I don't try to focus on just b-boying, because to me, we were given a culture. We were given everything that we had before. We were given the DJ, who's the drummer. He's beating on the leather. He's providing the drum. We were given the MC, who sings the chants. We were given graffiti. They were painting on the mountains, writing on the mountains, same thing. And we were given the dance around the fire. And we provide the circle. And you're the fire. So we were given our culture back. You know what I'm saying? That's where hip-hop is to me. It's only something that was already done. Just our form. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is.